Welcome, everybody. Welcome in to another week of 15 Minutes of Faith. How's everybody doing today? How's everybody feeling today? I am incredibly excited to talk about flipping tables today. Okay? I'm a little sick. Physically, I have a little cold, but I'm sick and tired mentally and emotionally of this coaching industry and this coaching space. Okay, there are so many coaches who are taking advantage of people, who are sharing methods that don't work, that are out of integrity, coaches who are doing things like lying, using fear mongering, price gouging, manipulation, all of these incredible things to the point where the FTC had to step in and say, y'all are getting out of hand. Okay. Laws are being passed to keep better control of how these coaches are lying and manipulating people in their spaces. And today, we are going to be talking about what Jesus would do and what Jesus would feel about these coaches in this coaching space in 2024. We are flipping some tables in the temple today. Okay. If you are new here, this is 15 Minutes of Faith. 15 Minutes of Faith is your weekly business Bible study to hear a word from God and finish the week strong. Just like you can't survive on food alone on Sundays, you can't survive of the bread of life and the living water alone on Sundays. You got to have a little bit of razzle dazzle in the middle of your week to help you survive. And so we come together every Wednesday at noon Eastern Standard Time to read the Bible together, to figure out what Jesus is telling us for this week. And this week, Jesus is telling us to stop playing with him. Stop playing with him. Okay? Stop playing with him. Today is 15 minutes of faith. It's probably going to be more like 10 minutes of faith because your girl is tired. I am quite literally fighting off the worst cold. You can see this is sponsored by, not officially sponsored by, the blue medicine and the green, or the blue medicine and the orange medicine, the one for the day and the one for the night, because I have been on them meds for a couple days now. But it is also inspired by a couple of books that I have been reading. One, obviously, The Good Book, but also Start With Why with Simon Sinek. I've been reading this book. I finally finished it. I've been reading it since July. And the end of the book put me on my behind. Okay, I was not ready for me to be gathered the way that I was gathered from reading this book. And it really, really opened my eyes to the moral just decrepitness of the coaching industry right now. The moral bankruptcy, the ethical just lack of standards that is running rampant in the coaching industry, and it is driving me bonkers. Right? I have been personally victimized by Regina George. I have been personally victimized by the coaching industry. I think I've paid upwards of $20,000 over the course of my tenure as a business owner on high ticket coaching programs that netted me nothing. Okay. There are some high ticket coaching programs that netted me plenty, but there are more that netted me nothing. Nothing but a smile and a new mindset, right? When they are making promises of 6-figure and 7-figure deals, some of them 8-figure deals. And so why has it become this standard that we expect people to lie to us? Why has the government now had to come and step in and put new laws in place, banning us from buying and selling testimonials because people have been lying to y'all, banning us from making these audacious claims that are bold-faced lies, and holding us to a higher standard of truth and excellence in an industry that we should have been self-managing, especially as Christian business owners. So I'm going to read one scripture today and one scripture only. It is Matthew 21, 12 and 13. Matthew 21, 12 and 13. We are in the NIV version of the Bible because we are in our physical Bibles this week. I had to get right with God. I said, I know I've been scrolling on this phone. TikTok been giving me some great scriptures, but Lord, I need your word. Okay, I need you to give me your word. So we are in our physical Bibles this week in Matthew 21, 12 to 13. And it reads, Jesus entered the temple courts and drove out all who were buying and selling there. He overturned the tables of the money changers and the benches of those selling doves. It is written, he said to them, my house will be called a house of prayer, but you are making it a den of robbers. A den of robbers. Can you imagine if back in Roman times, right? Back in the time when Jesus was walking the earth, when we knew that the government was corrupt, they saw their merchants being so corrupt that they had to step in and regulate it. That is the reality that we are living in 2024's coaching space. 2024's online business ownership space has become so corrupt that the government had to come in, which I'll leave my opinions about the government's level of moral ethics for another day. But the government had to come in and say, y'all are wilding. Wilding. Y'all are lying to people. Y'all are stealing from people. Y'all are making claims that y'all cannot back up. And it's not okay. On October 21st, the FTC put in new laws and regulations governing what coaches can and cannot do in this space because it has gotten so out of hand. People were buying and selling testimonials in order to manipulate other business owners into working with them, in order to manipulate people like you into working with them. Me personally, I have joined, like I said, over $20,000 worth of programs, these multi-month programs that don't tell you the contents of what's inside until you get there. And so they are holding you to the standard of, I have this $1 million silver bullet strategy that's going to change your entire life, but you can only figure out what it is for the low price of $997 or for 6 monthly payments of $1,000, right? They are using, now we know, false claims of success, unstandard or not standard, above standard examples of wins and successes in order to gate or guide you into joining their programs and not getting you those results. Okay? The coaching space right now has become morally bankrupt, even among Christian business owners. I will say that I was in one program where I was floored because the main tactic that the Christian CEO was teaching was to flat out lie to people. Flat out lie to people. Deceive them into joining your program was the entire marketing strategy. Been in programs where the entire strategy to gain wisdom was to get high. Do this drug. Go on this retreat, this spiritual awakening retreat. Take this substance, which now I can't remember what it is. All I want to keep saying is ashwagandha, and I know that's wrong. I know that's wrong because ashwagandha is just a vitamin. But now I can't think of what it's called. If somebody is here in the comments and y'all can think of what it's called, tell me what it's called. But take this substance and ayahuasca. Thank you. Go on this ayahuasca retreat and let Mother Ayahuasca guide you into how to run your business. These are $12,000 programs, and they're telling you to get high to get results. $12,000 programs, $25,000 programs telling you to get high to get results. Morally bankrupt. It's insane. Okay. And I can't help but imagine what would happen if Jesus himself were to return and see the tactics that are being taught to us as business owners in order to bring our companies that he called us to start to the next level. I think women like the Daring Daughters on Instagram, like Janae Talley Your Solutions, who challenge the status quo. Janae Talley posted this post a couple weeks ago that was like, how dare I use fear as a tactic for my marketing when God did not give me the spirit of fear? How dare I use the things that God has freed me of in order to enslave you to make money? How dare I? And why would God bless my business if that is the tactics that I am using? If those are the tactics that I am using? How dare I come into God's temple and sell these doves for his sacrifice? The same way that the people were doing in the temple when Jesus was flipping the tables, right? And so I am convicted and compelled to be a living example of a different approach in the industry right now. I am convicted and compelled to call out those coaches. I ain't going to do it by name because God hasn't called me that far to call them by name just yet. But I know that season is probably coming soon. The people who are just flat out lying to get results. Flat out lying. Flat out lying. Create false personas of yourself and go on people's Instagram pages and comment underneath and say, hey, this is my coach and she's great. Follow her. I ain't doing that. To the point where in one of my coaching programs, I'm going to tell two stories. First story, one coaching program, the coach was like, people don't actually need to pray in order to make good decisions. They just tell you that so that they have enough time to go figure out how to find the money. In a Christian coaching environment, right? To the point where let me get off my high horse. God is over it. God is over it. Okay. God is over using the ways of this world to build up companies that he has called you to create. God is ready to call up a nation of Christian business owners who are actually living by Christian standards, who are actually following the words that he put in his book. And I have been called and convicted to be one of them. Right now, I will say that there was a time in my business, and there has been a time this year even, where I fell for the okie doke, right? Remember a couple weeks ago, we had don't fall for the okie doke, don't fall for the false prophets, don't fall for the counterfeits that are coming up, giving you all of these false claims of success that will not happen. I fell for it, right? $20,000 out of pocket, gone for this okie doke. When God is saying, I've given you something so precious, something so beautiful with every single tactic you would ever need. And if you let me guide you, I will guide you to every other resource that you need as well. Right? And so when I say that this book drove it home, I want to read an excerpt from it for you to show you the way that I'm going to be flipping the table in the coaching industry moving forward. The way that I will be encouraging every other coach and every other client in my atmosphere, in my universe, in my audience to flip the table on this morally bankrupt coaching space in order to bring Christ back to where he's supposed to be, which is on the throne. So we are reading from Start With Why by Simon Sinek. This is page 220, I believe. I wrote it down. Page 220. If you own the book, I would encourage you to read it again because it's incredible. So this is what put me on my behind this morning. Though the golden circle, which is his brand, his method, his baby, his concept that he teaches, though the golden circle and the concept of why was working for me, I wanted to show it to others. I had a decision to make. Do I try to patent it, protect it, and use it to make lots of money, or do I give it away? This decision was to be my first celery test. My why is to inspire people to do the things that inspire them. And if I am to be authentic to that cause, there was only one decision to make: to give it away, to talk about it, to share it. There would never be any secret sauce or special formula for which only I knew the ingredients. The vision is to have every person and every organization know their why and use it to benefit all they do. So that's what I'm doing. And that's what I'm doing. I will no longer have a one size fits all, follow my exact steps and you'll make $6 million formula, all for the low price of 6 payments of $997 a month, right? We will never be using that approach again here at Ampere Business Solutions to market our anything, okay? God has convicted me of it. God is consecrating me of it. That is no longer the tactics I will use or teach in this business. So here's what I'm doing. I'm giving it all away. Not everything. Let me be clear, y'all. Okay, this is still a business. God called me to be a business owner. But what I am doing is taking my signature overflow method and I am giving it away to all of you for free. My signature overflow method, which is 3 steps to amplify your business, to make millions and make God proud at the same time. One of my biggest pet peeves about this industry is that you In most cases, you don't understand what a person is teaching or how a person is teaching until you've either paid thousands of dollars or committed months of your life. You don't know if it's going to work for you. You don't know if the tactics that they're teaching are in integrity for you, which many times they may not be. We're dead in it right now. No more gatekeeping, no more secret sauce, no more my only formula. No, we're not doing that. So what I have done and what will be finished by the end of the day today is that I have updated the Miracle Workers Workbook to have the full outline of the overflow method. I will be giving you that excerpt, the full outline of the overflow method, as well as an overflow assessment or an ops assessment to see what level you're functioning at and if the overflow method is right for you right now. Now, one of the things that I always coach and teach my clients is that if you need me to succeed, then I'm not your coach. We are codependent. And if I truly believe that as your coach, giving you this method is what's going to empower you to succeed, how dare I gatekeep it? How dare I? How dare I fearmonger? How dare I price gouge? How dare I do any of those things that God is calling us not to do? Okay? What I believe, my crowning moment of success in my business is the day that my clients no longer need me, because I have done such a good job of equipping them and teaching them the things that I teach that they no longer need me. The student has surpassed the master. The best day of my business is the day I get fired, because you are prepared to do what I have equipped you with. And I want more people to feel compelled and convicted to give away their method, because I know that at some point, if you want my help, I'm here. I know that if you want to go further, faster, I'm here. I know that if you want to do the work that I'm teaching you in a community of other people for greater results, then I am here. Access to the method is only going to make you better when you're ready to work with me one-on-one. I encourage every single Christian business owner to take a look at how they have been more like the world than like God, and what they have been doing, how they have been marketing, and how they have been positioning their businesses. Okay? Because God is doing a new thing right now. He's calling out his false prophets. He's calling out people who don't love him. He's calling out the people who are using him to get ahead for false gain, false selfish ambition, right? That is no longer going to fly among his kingdom of believers. And so I am encouraging you to change the way that you've been operating, to become the image bearer of Christ as a Christian CEO that you were always meant to be, and to reach the highest levels of success that God has for you as a result. Let's flip these tables in this coaching industry. Let's stop letting it fly. The FTC already did the heavy lifting for us. It's illegal. It's above me now, right? All we have to do is hold ourselves to that higher standard. All right, y'all. This has been another episode of 15 Minutes of Faith. I hope this has been incredible for you. Be beautiful and be blessed. Of course, turn on your post notifications, because when I drop the overflow method for free, your free excerpt of the Miracle Workers Workbook, you don't want to miss it. All right. Take care, y'all. Peace.